Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome for another episode of Market Leader Live. Hey, it's your host with the most, your main man, Darren M. Palmer. Excited to be with you. I get the honor and the privilege to interview industry titans today. I got one. You can see the swagger like no other. My girl, Ashley Cochran is in the building. Say hello to the people, Ashley.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I am so happy to be here. Thank you, Darren.
Anytime I had to bring you on for those who are a fan of our there's multiple shows now. You remember hearing Ashley on the SPN in 30 Days, Self-Published in 30 Days podcast when she came out with her book or whatnot. But also Ashley has been on the move. She was on the move then, but she's been continued to dominate, move forward, continue to do mentorship, even got her own show that she put out doing with clothing, the whole nine. So if you don't mind, Ashley, just allow for the people to know a little bit about the book. And also, what have you been up to since the release of the book, if you don't mind?
All right, sure. Thank you for having me again. I'll say that. But the book is Mask Off, Don't Let Your Past Determine Your Present. And for me, it was, I guess you can say, my testimony, my story, childhood, and the journey of self-love and rediscovering who Ashley is and what drives Ashley and Ashley's love and passion. But it had to start with healing and forgiveness. So it talks a little bit about that portion of my life as well. I was nervous, extremely nervous at first because I had to be raw and I had to be authentic. I'm sorry, and take off the mask to be able to reveal my story. Since the book a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago, I was tapped on the shoulder to be a guest on a radio station. And of course I said yes. But later on ended up being, hey, instead of being a guest, we would love for you to be a co-host. And from that journey, it ended up, just being me and a partner, Jay Stroud, and we created Truth No Chaser. It is started as a podcast, and now it's going to be a media group. So we want to bring other people on to create platforms for them as well to be able to do by the hands and running with it. We've had multiple guests on the show. It varies from therapists to authors, to chefs, to people in the celebrity industry as far as hair and makeup, variety of guests. And we are loving every part of it. And also, I might say I had a speaking engagement that I've done. I was definitely nervous, and I still am trying to get better at the whole public speaking thing because I want to be a speaker. So I definitely had the opportunity to definitely grow in the last 2 years.
Ashley, I thank you for sharing that information, but I want those who are listening to this to hear some of the things that Ashley is saying. But I'm a good old Southern gentleman and whatnot. You can hear with Southern drawl like Tim McGraw, and I want y'all to understand the importance of being able to get out of your comfort zone. As you heard Ashley just share, she went in to be a guest and ended up being a host. We serve a God that will do exceedingly abundantly above all we can think and ask. So it's about taking that initial step, or similar to what you had with a Moses situation, what's in your hand. Some of us are so focused on about what we don't have, the degrees that we haven't gotten, or the years of experience that we don't have, that we miss what we do have. And so by you just moving forward and taking the first step, most people fail because they won't take the initial step. And that might be just showing up. You didn't have it on your 3-month or 5-year plan or 10-year plan on this, but you have to be liquid in your approach and be open to what I like to call of the God opportunities. Those opportunities that come your way, that no, you couldn't have foreseen those opportunities, but you still move forward anyway. And Ashley, if you don't mind, share with us what do you use? How do you have the mental fortitude where some would acquiesce or some will fall back and say, I didn't show up for that. I was just, I was being nice by just showing up for the show. Now y'all want me to host a show, or I don't know anything about speaking. Y'all asking me to speak. But you still step out regardless. So could you kind of guide us through your mindset to be able to make those moves where some people don't make those moves that you've been able to make?
Sure. So let me fast forward, because after the book was released and before I was asked to be a guest, to go and a co-host, I started doing motivational Mondays on my AC Speaks 42 Instagram page. And that's actually what led him to ask me, because I decided, to go show up every Monday for people that followed me and drop some encouragement, some motivation. And he felt led. He said he went to prayer and asked God to show him a face for somebody that could be a co-host with him. And he's seen my face. So I got out of my comfort zone and was like, I'm going to do these videos every Monday. And the people held me accountable because they were like, Ashley, where's videos at? So I had to show up for them. But as I was doing it for them, I was motivating myself, encouraging myself every Monday. So that led him to asking me to be a guest, to be a co-host. And at first I was like, yeah, I don't know about the whole co-host thing. Like, I'm nervous every now and then. But he was like, he told me, he's like, I prayed about it and I seen your face. And I knew from that moment it was God ordained. Like, it could be nobody but God. And I knew I had to follow the path because God opened his eyes to see me, and God opened my mouth to be able to speak to the people. And as I'm growing, I see more and more that it was nothing but God. From the book to you helping me with the book, for you creating doors for me and saying to go through, to being tapped on my shoulder. Once I got out of my own way, once I let fear die, I had to step up.
Wow, I'm telling you, when she had to let fear die, I want us to understand something else that Ashley has been able to give us too as well. For those out there who thinking to themselves, oh, that couldn't be me. Ashley has different things that she does. So Ashley has been working at the same time. So I know some of you out there, that would be nice if I just had a bunch of free time. I felt that in my spirit. Some of you out there think, I know what you're thinking to yourself. That would be nice if I was younger. That would be nice if I didn't have to work too. But some of us got to work. All right, then. Ashley has been able to do work and also be able to focus on passion and things that align with her purpose as well. So I want those who are listening to this. This is not just this jump off the cliff entrepreneur story that we're talking about. This is what I like to call being intentional about your growth, moving forward anyway. Yes, it might take time when you're off from work or when you did your allotted time or whatnot, but we are all facing somewhat now. Ashley has already been in this type of world, whatnot, of being able to be virtual and being able to work in different places and being able to maneuver. So, Ashley, speak to that person out there about going the extra mile, because you've been able to hold it down in that arena with your career, but also move forward on your entrepreneur endeavors and just passion projects.
Yeah. So for me, to get out of my own way, it took me asking myself the question over and over again. If I was to die today, would God be pleased with what I left on the earth? Would my name have a legacy? Would I be able to say, you know what, I did what I could do? And I kept saying no. Like, I kept being tapped, like, your testimony, your story needs to be told. And instead of me sitting around and thinking like, well, I have to work because I got to, I'm a single woman. I have to provide for myself. But it was like, I spend 9 to 5 making somebody else rich. What am I doing for my passion? How am I living my life? How am I living my purpose? I'm putting money in their pockets. And if I was to die, they'd be like, you know what? Ashley's parents, here's her laptop. I'm saying, give me my laptop back, whatever. Here's her, whatever. They wouldn't care. They sent flowers to my mom's house. They wouldn't care. But I know if I was, God would not be like, you know what, you did what you could do. No. So I knew in order to live a fulfilled life, I had to get out of my way and think, you know what, I'm not gonna let my 9 to 5 stop me. So I would dedicate every day at least 2 hours to writing a chapter in my book. And I had to have it done and completed to you by Friday. So that was my goal every week, to work on my book. And now what I do is I work on a podcast every week. I work on mentoring every week. You have to be intentional because it's not going to get done. Unfortunately, we have the same 24 hours.
Ooh, Ashley, girl, I'm telling you, I know we don't have a Stripe or a Cash App on here right now, but I'm telling you, my girl is dropping some bombs on us right now. And I want those who are listening to this. This is the thing. I was just having this discussion a couple of days ago with someone. The difference is Ashley realized that it was her responsibility to get those things done. If she wanted to volunteer, it was her responsibility to make that a priority to get that done. If she had something that was a passion or something that aligned with her purpose, it was her responsibility. Notice what she didn't say. It wasn't her employer's responsibility. That means that's some accountability. And a lot of us, we don't want to look at the man or the woman in the mirror, as the famous song Michael Jackson will tell you about, is that we don't want to face the man or the woman in the mirror and look at it, hey, I have to do something about this. Or like what Ashley brought up, or you would just have that easy excuse to say, well, you don't know I had to work. Well, it's a lot of people that had to work. But if it's something serious, we can see it with those who have grandchildren. You might have worked, but if your grandchildren, for those who have grandchildren out there, you find a way to get out there and spend some time with them when you get a chance, even though you might be tired. If it's something with that significant other, or if it's your ride or die or whatnot, and they need some assistance or they need some help with something, you might didn't even feel like doing it, but because you roll with them, you rock with them, they've been down with you, your day ones or whatnot, you find a way to, go into that energy to be able to go and support the one that you love and that love you. So for those who are out there, understand that you can make that change. And another thing that I like about the power of the story with Ashley is with the mentorship. You alluded to, you shared a little bit to, I think it's a perfect segue by being intentional. I'm seeing those young queens that you working with and you pouring into them. And what I love about it is that you my tribe or whatnot, you my sister, because like you're no excuses on it. Those young ladies are benefiting from you and you are benefiting from them too as well. It's the law of reciprocity. But I want people to hear this because she doesn't have to be Oprah and open up a school in Africa or something to make a difference and to make a change. She doesn't have to be Warren Buffett or somebody to do that. And I think so many of us think you don't have to be a mega ministry to do your part. My thing is, for those who are listening, tuned into this, what will you allow for your legacy to be? What will be your part? Ashley had to ask the tough question, what would God think about her efforts? She didn't say everybody who I go to church with. She didn't say her parents. She didn't say her siblings. She didn't say none of the other people in the state of Georgia or in Pennsylvania, PA or whatnot. She didn't say the school or alumni. She didn't bring them into it. She looked within at herself. And so Ashley, share with the people some of the benefits and what are some of the things that you do for us, the mentorship, and what have been some of the things that you have learned, or maybe even share a story of some of the delights it is to have working with the ladies work with.
So for me, I've been mentoring for the last 3 years. I've worked with high school girls from 9th grade to 12th grade. And one of the things I've learned is more so about myself, that I always thought I was impatient. I always thought I never had patience for nothing. Like I'm ready to go, go, go. When I want to, and I want to move, I'm ready to go. But with them, you have to be patient because you have to build a relationship with them so they can begin to trust you, to open up to you. When you first go there, obviously you're a stranger, so they're kind of like guarded or kind of standoffish at first. So you have to be able to build a rapport with them. And what I found out is a lot of them want to open up to you. They're looking for an older figure or old role model that they can look up to. And for me, I get the joy in now that they call me their big sister. So we're on the phone FaceTiming. That some of them have graduated already. They'll call me and say, "This is my big sister. Isn't she so pretty? Isn't she so sweet? Whatever." Like, so me, they actually consider me family. So I know that my work is not in vain with them. I like the fact that I'm able to meet new people with them every year. It's somebody different. But the ones that I still had talked to 3 years ago, 2 years ago, they still call me. One was on my show last year. One's in college and FaceTimes me every other day, especially on the holidays. Like, we're able to build that. Their moms call me. So I love the fact that they open up to me and consider me family now, because I feel like I'm doing something positive.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, it was said back in the day, I don't know how true it is, but they said that somebody was an athlete. I know it's one athlete on the show today, speaking about myself, but I don't know. Is it true what they said about you back in PA or whatnot? Is it true about the skill levels on the basketball court and the track? Could you talk to us a little bit about that?
I mean, what did Jay-Z say? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. If you go look on my Instagram, you will see I was inducted to the Hall of Fame from my high school back in 2018. So yes, your girl does hold a record still in high school. So I was a track star as well as basketball player.
Awesome.
So it's true. It's all true.
It's all true. And that was a setup question because I knew it to be true. But I want you to just talk a little bit, if you don't mind, Ashley, the things that you learned in sports. I know personally, I know I used to think it was a joke back in the day. I used to be one who kind of cut up when the coach wasn't in the room or whatnot, and we laugh or whatnot because I impersonate what the coach was saying. Now, all of a sudden, I realize, and I tell them, you know, the ones who still alive and I'm able to connect with, like, wow, thank you all, man, because yeah, I know we were rambunctious or whatnot and jumping around and all that, but the stuff we learned, actually, I don't know if it's you, if you see it too, but other athletes and others that I know, you can tell somebody who didn't play sports.
Oh yeah.
You can, I mean, it's
Absolutely.
just, it's like, I know like some people said I have been into the military and then, but they can tell, but you typically, if you're in a work environment, you can tell, even if you're in a relationship with somebody, that understanding of you having to run because your team has to run.
Yep.
You didn't do it, but we all got to we all punished. We all in this together. There's no I in
There's no I.
that whole concept of camaraderie.
Yes.
Like most people who hadn't played any kind of sports, a team thing, I even give you a band. You at least see some kind of discipline, of a team effort. But people who have it, so speak to that. How has your success in sports, how have you been able to transfer some of those skills in what you currently do? Could you name a thing that you learned from sports that you still utilize today?
What's crazy, some of the words you just used was in my mind as you were talking. And the first one is discipline. You have to be disciplined. I mean, you said that your team relies on you and you want to play, especially if you want to be a starter, you got to be good. So you have to be disciplined. That is the biggest thing. And I see that in writing the book. I had to make sure I set time aside every single day to write this book. I had to make sure I set time aside every single week to make sure my podcast is going to be on point with my teammates. Also teamwork, because there is no I in team. So what I'm learning now is, and I've learned it in being an athlete from junior high school to college, is rely on other people. You don't have to be by yourself. You don't have to do it all by yourself. You don't have to be alone. You have people to help you. And if you all have one common goal, it makes it so much better because you all want to win. And that definitely came from playing sports, because it's all about the team. I want to win. You want to win. Let's do it together. Let's grind, hustle together. And that's what it's all about. Teamwork and discipline.
Come on now. I wish we had a praying church in here right now. But hey, we about to pass the offering plate around here. Ashley done took us to church. All right. Hey, what a great time. But Ashley, we thank you so much. We're going to have all the information in the show notes when this re-airs or whatnot, so people can be able to connect with you. But if you don't mind, Ashley, for those who are watching live right now, if they want to know more about you, they heard about the Motivation Mondays and things that you put out. So please just share with them social media handles, website information, even about the show. I know y'all got some merch as well that's available for people. So whatever you want to share, girl, hey, where's yours?
Okay, so get your paper and pen ready, because there's a few websites. Their social media handles is AC Speaks 42, and that's on Instagram and Facebook. And then on Instagram, it's truth_no_chaser. On Facebook, it's at The Truth No Chaser. And our website for the book, for my book, is maskoffbook.org. And for merchandise or information about Truth No Chaser, you can watch previous shows. It is www.thetruthnochaser.com. You can buy gear, you can watch previous shows, keep up with us, watching the news, all kinds of different things. And also we're on YouTube, The Truth, No Chaser.
And definitely we'll have all that information in the show notes. For those, if you definitely can get to AC Speaks 42 on all social media platforms, you'll be able to get more details. If you can't wait for the airing of the show, I know how some people, I want my shirt now. I want to reach out now. I understand. Ashley will be able to direct you. You'll see information about it if you go on those social media platforms. But I just want to tell you that I'm just so godly proud of you. Just to watch the maturation process, to see how you just make an impact. You just embody what it is to be a goal getter, and to me, to be a change agent, making a difference locally and globally. And you back it up about what you do. And I love it too, because you're able to keep your swag while you do it, girl. What? Okay. You're able to still do it. You're still able to do it. And that's what I love about who you are. You your own person. So yes, you mentor. Yes, you do the show. Yes, you got a career. Yes, you're an author. You know, you love the Lord. But at the same time, you can go watch the games. You can watch the football games. You go support family. You understand that. You go check out, you know, if you got some, you know, a niece or nephew or something. I'm just using this as an example. You're family oriented, but you can go and have a great time with your lady friends or whatnot and have a good time. And I think we need to see more than that, because I think that people get one dimensional and they act like they can't live life, or they're living in a box that somebody else has created for them. And they feel like, well, if I do this, you know, what's somebody going to think about that? And you share that. We had that in common. Like, do you, boo? Like, I'm doing me. Like, people going to talk. They talked about Jesus. So if I'm going to do me, I might do this show. You might see me somewhere with a cigar. Then you might see me another minute. If we laying hand, come my son got to say, I'm doing me. I'm not gonna hide. If I'm not hiding it from Jesus, well, I'm hiding it from you or whatnot. So it's just, so I love you and respect you for that. Kudos to you, girl.
Thank you. It hasn't always been easy. I will say that. But once you get out of your head and you start living your life because it's your life, don't worry about the naysayers, because if you keep worrying about what they say, you're never gonna move forward. You're gonna be stuck worrying about what they think. I don't care anymore. Like I'm living. I'm living and I'm walking in my purpose. That's all that matters.
That's it.
That's all. I keep on walking.
That's it. And you know something else, Ashley, before we end the show, the thing that I've noticed too, that the other people are going to do what they want to do anyway, and they want you, and they're going to talk. So you might as well do what you're going to do. If you're okay and God is okay with what you're doing, then do you. But you can't please everybody or whatnot. But once again, Ashley, please, last parting piece of advice to those who are listening.
Be authentic to yourself. That took time for me. That took years of healing and forgiveness, not to my parents, but just to myself. Be authentic. Like you said, be you. This is your life. You have to walk in your purpose. Don't worry about nobody else around you who's clapping, who's watching, whatever. You do whatever you want to do, and be authentic and be okay with being transparent. You're human. Allow yourself to make error. It's okay. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to do and your purpose and passion, everything else falls in line eventually. Don't worry about it.
There it is. There it is from my girl, Ashley Cochran. Go make sure that y'all follow her on all social media platforms at AC Speaks 42 Truth No Chaser. Y'all can be able to Google and look that up, or go on YouTube. We'll have all the information in the show notes. Until next time, remember, if you won't change, be the change. Be blessed and be great.